Thank you for your cooperation, Simon. I'd like to know more about what the situation was like on the night of August 7th. Call frequency, the type of calls you were receiving, things like that. And as I understand it, you also have ties to the collapse.
Blood ties.
I I understand. But please walk me through that night.
Sure. It was a late night, like any other. Mostly noise complaints, fights, trespassing, maybe robbery. But the call frequency started skyrocketing around midnight. I think Mary got the first one, some couple in zone 212. All of the lines filled up pretty quickly after that.
And what were these calls about?
Sky. All of them.
How did you handle them? The reports must have felt pretty out there.
People getting scared over the weather isn't as uncommon as you might think. Calm them down, inform them of the weather reported by radar, and moved on to the next caller. None of these were real emergencies. Well, except for the last one.
Take your time.
It was like 12:30 maybe. I was a District 2 operator that night, so the call came through to me. It's from the Aperture folks. Said they had a developing situation, multiple casualties, and they would need police. That's all they said.
And what did you do next?
Well, my brother worked there. Usually gets home before I do. So I took a quick break and called our place to see if he was there. Phone rang off the line. Called the front desk. Same thing. So I started packing my stuff to storm out of the office.
Your brother, did you know what his occupation was at Aperture?
Engineering, some big construction project. He was never specific.
Alright. You were getting ready to leave. Where were you heading?
Home. Maybe my brother was taking a shower. Maybe the music was too loud. Maybe he was alright. I wouldn't be able to focus on my job until I knew for sure.
I see. Please continue.
So I was ready to leave, but then my supervisor tried to stop me. He was the one that told me all the lines were full. I explained the situation, but he wouldn't listen. I got the hell out of there anyway. When I walked out the door, I finally saw what everyone was calling about.
What did you see?
Same as everybody. The Northern Lights. Over goddamn Cleveland. People were flocking outside to look at whatever was going on up there, but I didn't care. I had to get home, so I got my ass moving. I live close. Got home in 5 minutes.
Okay. You got home. What happened next?
I started looking around for my brother. He wasn't in the living room. He wasn't in the kitchen. He wasn't in his bedroom. He was gone. I called Aperture again. This time, they picked up, but they told me nothing. They called back a few hours later.
And what did they tell you?
They said he was dead. There was a cave-in during routine rock blasting, but it doesn't add up. When they called, they asked for police, not paramedics. They didn't even try. And why not report the collapse right away? It makes no sense.
Right. Did Aperture get in touch again afterwards?
Depends on what you consider in touch. One night, I came home and noticed someone had slipped an envelope under my door. No identification, blank. But when I opened it, there was a contract inside. It offered $500,000.
What was that money for?
My brother's life insurance. See, this is what I mean. That kind of thing takes months, years. Some companies make a mess out of this. They try to blame the worker for the accident so they don't have to pay a dime. Here, it only happens in 2 days.
Do you have the contract with you? May I see it?
Sure. Here.
Thank you. Give me a minute, then we'll continue.